Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody, and happy holidays. I'm your host, Keenan. Welcome to the December 23rd, 2021 weekly DXdao community call, a bit of a special holiday edition. The agenda will be a bit lighter and more casual today, as I mentioned. As you can imagine, many contributors with their families and presumably community members as well. We'll be doing a bit of chatting with Swapper extensions, Ethereum push notification service, a little bit on potential DXdao holiday POAPs, and more. So let's kick it off right away, starting with some recaps on the BizDev side. Nathan, are you available and ready to go?
Yeah. Hi, Keenan. Hello, everyone. Yeah, there's quite a bit to recap. Let's see, where do we start from? An interesting initiative that we recently initiated was the Initiatives DAO, and we recently passed a proposal. However, we had a few hiccups with the upload to IPFS, and we might have to redo this. For those who are not familiar, the Initiative DAO initiative is basically creating a slush fund and liaising with the close community members. We will probably create a channel here in Discord and collaborate with community members who would be interested in helping the DAO as a one-off with interesting ideas. They will be given funds to spend as they see fit. And if successful, this could be an ongoing thing. In fact, I could go off on a tangent here and mention the issue we had with the new governance platform we're developing, DXvote, and the problem we had with uploading to IPFS, which kind of made us think more seriously about moving forward with finding alternatives for the DAO to have more robust, independent infrastructure that would make us really resilient and on one hand censorship resistant, and on the other not susceptible to any pitfalls of technology, centralized technology. So we've been liaising with the team at SIA, looking for alternatives for storing our data. Also Arweave. We're hoping that this should be resolved and no longer happen in the future. Apart from Initiatives DAO, we've recently been in touch with the team at the Ethereum push notification service. For those who are not familiar, it's a kind of a decentralized communication protocol, which would enable pretty much any decentralized application or smart contract to send notifications to their users. It's one of the missing pieces of Web3 at the moment, and we're really excited. We do envision a future where DAO community members would be able to receive notifications straight in their wallets regarding new governance proposals. If they are avid farmers and LPs in Swapper, they could receive notifications for expiring liquidity mining campaigns to remind them that they should unstake their LP token shares and restake them in new farming campaigns. So we're really excited about our partnership with the team at EPNS. They are stoked as well, and they're really eager to help us achieve our goals. We are just waiting on them to launch their protocol on mainnet, which is expected to happen in the second week of January next year. We've been also actively collaborating with different teams in DeFi regarding leveraging Carrot as a platform for community incentives, and we're really happy and grateful for the positive feedback we've received, and we have a lot of interest. We've generated interest from, surprisingly, from two stablecoin protocols, a decentralized exchange, and a couple of yield markets. So yeah, the future for Carrot and DXdao is bright. The team's been hammering hard, and there are interesting developments on the backend side as well with new versions. As everybody should know by this point, it is an amazing product, and one could easily be fooled that this is the product, but it is just an MVP. It's an alpha version, and it has a lot more to offer. So we're all really excited. Um, what else? Yeah, we're also liaising with Pocket Network. The DXDAO recently passed a signal proposal um, approving moving forward with DXDAO owning its own decentralized infrastructure in the face of a collaboration with Pocket Network with their API infrastructure. They have this amazing protocol, which is kind of like a two-sided marketplace between node providers who run full nodes, and on the other side, decentralized applications who query data for the services from the respective blockchains that they're currently deployed on. Off the top of my head, I think about 15 networks. DXDAO is pushing for them to move on, and kind of like integrate Arbitrum. This is probably the only network they do not yet support, but they do support mainnet, of course, and Gnosis chain. So we're really excited. And something really interesting is that even though DXDAO, we're kind of nerdy, we're not loud, we're not bragging, and you know, we're not applying the standard marketing practices that other organizations do, and so we kind of like still in the shadows, despite that we're kind of like dinosaurs in the space, in the DAO space. We've had our on-chain governance running for 2.5 years already, and even though we're still in the shadows, and many lay people or newcomers to the space do not know about us because a lot of other teams are more loud about what they're doing. Whenever we get to collaborate with really hardcore professional teams in the space like Pocket Network, um, we immediately see positive feedback, and it's not just us being excited collaborating with them. Every party we've liaised with is equally eager to collaborate with DXDAO, which speaks volumes to us, and this is what really matters to DXDAO. Not much public accolades and paid shilling. Yeah, so we're looking forward to a future where we will be routing requests through the decentralized relay infrastructure of Pocket Network. It would bring a lot of benefits to DXDAO and the users of our protocols and dApps that we're developing and governing. Like it would possibly help reduce fees in a way. It would help us avoid random outages, data leaks. It's an immense benefit. Let's see, what else? On the DX Ventures side, we have an interesting collaboration that was kind of, for those that are not familiar, DXDAO attended the Ethereum hackathon in Portugal, in Lisbon, in October, and our amazing team of devs came up with a novel product to leverage NFTs to help contributors build their reputation so that they could easily be onboarded to DAOs in the space. In the true spirit of DXdao, helping build like public goods and infrastructure that is not only beneficial to ourselves but everyone else in the space. Everything we're building is open source, and this got us in touch with a team developing a really nice application called Karma, which would be a platform measuring member contributions to DAOs. It will aggregate activity and recognize people's contributions so that they could build their reputation. And it falls in line with what our team built, and it was appreciated in the hackathon. So that's a good synergy that we're exploring. Another possible investment we're pursuing is Double, supporting the team at Double. We've liaised with Henry. They're very ambitious, and they're tackling another pain point in DeFi, which is liquidity provision, impermanent loss. They envision this decentralized cooperative for single-sided liquidity provision in automated market makers in the space. It would fit well with DXdao strategy for further developing Swapper, and that is what kind of piques our interest as well. What else? Yeah. Also, we're in the final stage of kind of like solidifying our support to the ambitious team at Atlantis World, building their 2D metaverse. And there are a lot of interesting use cases for them to help DXDAO and our products with gamification, incentivized learning, like learn to earn. That there's a ton of material regarding DXDAO, our history, and what we've planned for our future. That it's a steep learning curve. It's not easy for you to get familiarized and acquainted with what DXDAO has been doing throughout the years and what we're up to. So an interesting solution would be to have our own learn to earn game inside the metaverse where community members and newcomers could learn about DXDAO and earn along the way. So we are excited about that. And yeah, what else? Any questions? I don't know. There's a lot going on, so many moving pieces, stuff that we've been dragging for some time due to many reasons, new stuff coming along the way we're picking up and developing and pursuing. Something
Yeah, thank you.
interesting is probably, I wonder, maybe Zed could talk about, is a survey we would like to circulate among the community, gathering feedback about new features they would like to see in Swapper and new networks they might be interested in the protocol being deployed on. Something that we could post here in Discord in the near future.
Yeah, thank you. Here, we
I
can
can
hear you.
maybe just chime in on that questionnaire. I actually prepared it for internal use first to get feedback on the questionnaire and what questions we should have there. And I'm preparing the questionnaire to be shared amongst the community. So basically, it is just here trying to gather some feedback, gather ideas, and see, basically feeling the temperature on what people want and or think they want. And maybe we could do like a secondary questionnaire. It could be anything from which network to be deployed on, or which is the next feature to like focus on Swapper. And if someone has ideas that we haven't thought about, or any AMM maybe it doesn't exist on any AMM, we could potentially build it. So we, yeah, I'll probably share it in the end of this call. Maybe even now. I have no reason to not share it, so I'll share it now. And if you guys want to fill this form later, you could do it. It's a questionnaire. Let me just try so the link works. And it's in the chat now. Just fill that in. You don't need to put in your nickname or Discord name if you want to fill that in anonymously, and that will help us a lot. Other than that, I can give some update on Swapper. We
Yeah.
are
Probably transition into Swapper here if you're ready.
yeah, for sure. Do you want to say something, Kina, or should I just go?
I think I'm okay if you want to just go. I'll be talking Swapper a bit later.
Yeah. So we are still building on the single token staking. We did a secondary snapshot voting on signaling if we should do single token staking on Swapper. We got like a 99%, I think, on yes. So that's super great. We are a little bit delayed on finishing up the single token staking, but we are in the like basically finalizing bit of it. So with that update, we'll actually update much more than just adding single token staking. We'll update some interface for the farming and how we show pools and rewards, and actually show much more data than we did before. So I'm excited for that release. We're also building on the Swapper bridge and doing some nice stuff. So there'll be two releases really soon on Swapper. Yeah, that's basics.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much, Zet, for your time. I'll take this opportunity to kind of quickly talk the Swapper extension and single-sided, although you did give enough of a recap likely for that. We had the most recent epochs, I believe, 10 and 8, launch earlier this morning, I believe an hour and 22 minutes ago at 1500 UTC. There were no changes to the actual allocations for these epochs, but the notable thing is the extension of them. So the campaign's launching today at 1500 UTC. Will be ending on January 20th at 1500 UTC. Instead of the normal 2-week cadence, we'll be doing 4. The actual allocations won't change, as I mentioned. So the amount of Swapper token will be as expected, but you won't need to unstake and restake on either Arbitrum, Mainnet, or XI. Gnosis Chain. Going to take a bit of getting used to there. And that's basically the big picture for the holidays on Swapper side. No need to unstake, restake. Campaigns will be lasting a bit longer. We will be discussing into the new year the potential of permanently increasing the epochs from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Nothing cemented quite yet there, but definitely a topic of discussion in the community. I do have 2 questions here, and I see John is heading out, but maybe a good question for him. When will smart contract wallets receive their Swapper? If John has to head out, maybe Zet, we can try to answer.
That's a good question. We don't have a date yet. We do have a couple of things in the backlog regarding to the airdrop, and yeah, it is a priority. But we had one of the lead dev on working on Carrot, and I think we need his assistance on this. So it will be a priority to be done with the backlog of the airdrop, and maybe also a good thing to say. Obviously, the airdrop window will close the 31st of December. Obviously, if the error is on us, so let's say, the smart contract airdrop, that will extend for those who can't claim their airdrop because of us and not because of themselves, obviously. So if you have any questions regarding that, I know there's some people with hardware wallets that doesn't support. Just ask us and see, and we can see what we can do. But most likely, all the airdrops needs to be claimed before the end of this year. That's how the smart contract is written.
And on the smart contract airdrop, we're actually just about ready to let it go. So I'm hoping we could get it in tomorrow. Just that there's a lot of people on holiday this week, so it might get delayed a bit. But we were vetting it earlier this week and probably would have had it done had it not been a holiday week. So I would expect it by probably by sometime next week, if not this week.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sean. Just to kind of follow up to that, the only other question I had by the same person is the DXD allocation correction going to happen soon? Assuming that's referring to, obviously, the correction for the initial airdrop, and also somewhat answered by you, but maybe just some context.
Yeah, that's separate from the smart contract airdrop. That's a correction to the airdrop on the claimable airdrop on Arbitrum. So to clarify, for the smart contract one, the recipients don't have to do anything. It's going to come from the multi-sig on mainnet and will just appear, so that'll be sent to those wallets. On Arbitrum, for the correction, I think it's going to, I'm actually not 100% sure because we haven't set this one up yet. So that one's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll hopefully follow shortly as well. But I'm not sure if that's going to require a claim or if it's just going to be sent out. I need to look at what the plans were there to set that correction up.
Cool. Thank you very much.
On Arbitrum, we could potentially do a send out now when, what's the name of the dApp that sends out tokens? It didn't exist back then, but it does now. So we could potentially do it on Arbitrum. But
Gnosis Safe actually supports the disperse kind of distribution feature.
Yeah. So yeah, we could potentially do that.
Yeah. That might be the easiest thing to do.
Cool. Just keep my eyes open for any final Swapper-related questions. As Zet mentioned earlier, please fill out the form if you have the time. It's in the chat here. It will help kind of shape the future of Swapper.
Actually, I just remembered something that's BizDev and Swapper related. We are liaising with an ambitious team from Skytail. They offer pretty good analytics, wallet analytics for DeFi degens. It would also be really helpful with easily extracting a summary of all of your activity for tax purposes if you happen to be interested. So we have decided to collaborate and kind of reward the farmers in the Swapper wrapped XDAI pool, which is a part of the Carrot farming campaign on XDAI chain. So 15 addresses will be arbitrarily chosen of the farmers in the campaign, and Skytail will reward them with NFTs that will grant them full access to all features for a month on their platform. And this will happen in the beginning of January. So there's something for the carrot farmers.
Cool. Thank you very much, Nathan. I do have a dedicated time slot to talk about EPNS. I'm not sure. I know you did give quite a bit of context earlier on the DX Ventures kind of update. Did you want to have a dedicated slot still? I do also note that Blake Burrito is here.
Not necessarily. I could say a few words, a few extra words regarding EPNS. Their solution is live on Kovan test network. It's been fully functional, operating. They've been testing it, works great. They are now fully focused on launching on mainnet, and we're eagerly waiting because that would be the beginning of our collaboration as well. They still have to nail the tokenomics around the centerpiece, which is the push nodes in the middle. That would be the basically the core of their network that would operate on a model of incentivization and punishment with rewards and slashing. They have their core. It's a it's a package of smart contracts of which the core contract lives on mainnet, and then they have these communicator smart contracts on each and every side chain L2, not even just limited to EVM compatible networks, but also non-EVM networks as well, so that they're fully scalable. They will be available on any network imaginable, and we do see a bright future for their team, and we want to support them, and we're happy that they are taking time to help integrate the solution in our dApps to bring further benefits to our users. So it's quite straightforward. I'm not sure if anything else could be said at this point. If anyone's interested, they could head over to their website. I don't know it off the top of my head. Is it EPNS dot something?
EPNS.io. Yeah.
.io. Yeah. We actually, something I could share. Let me find it quickly. We did have one of their team members join us on our weekly BizDev call this Monday to do a quick show and tell and answer some questions for us. We did grill them a little, so I could share the link to the video from our Monday BizDev call for you to see their presentation. I'll share it in the channel here. Yeah.
I invited Blake Burrito on stage from EPNS. Maybe if you want to give a quick intro and add anything to what Nathan has said, that would be fantastic.
All right. What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, sure. I think our had hit all the high points, and I actually just joined the team at EPNS myself recently, within the last couple weeks, leading up the governance team there. But I've been a DXD community member for a while, so that's why I'm here. But yes, we're going live on mainnet January 11th, and channel development within is going full steam. So we're excited for obviously mainnet launch and what that means to us, and the partnerships that we've built up over the past few months. So yeah, Jaff was speaking with y'all earlier this week, and like I said, joined just in case we had any questions, but I think he did hit all the high points, and sounds like he'll share that meeting from Jaff on Monday too.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. Nathan, not sure if you had anything to close this discussion off with.
No. Are there any questions in the chat room? I haven't followed closely.
No questions right now, no.
Yeah, I mean, what I could say is we would welcome any suggestions from the members of the community if they wish to see any interesting use cases and channels built between our dApps that we're building and the push notification service. Off the top of our heads, as I said, the primary use cases we envision is reminding participants in the DAO governance about notable governance proposals requiring majority voting or attention of the wider community. It would be a great value add in my personal opinion. And another one is, easy to understand. The feedback we received when we initially started the governance token distribution for Swapper with the liquidity mining campaigns on multiple networks, farmers were a bit overwhelmed with following the schedule of the epochs, that they were short epochs, 2 weeks long, and some of them, degen farmers in DeFi, they don't concentrate on just one protocol. They farm on as many as they could get their hands on, and it could be a bit difficult to manage all of that. So it would be great if Swapper leads in the space with providing. This has been one of the main focuses from the get-go when we started developing Swapper user experience. Putting the user first. So we would lead the way by showing we do care for users and we listen to their feedback. So this is us showing that we care. It takes time, as we can see, it's not all up to us, or even I assume at EPNS it's not up to them. They probably on their side depend on something else still. So yeah, patience is a virtue, but we do listen.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to move on here to the last agenda topic of the day, which is DXdao holiday POAPs. So just for some context, you might have seen some fun holiday-themed icons for some of our products, DXdao, in the server here. Particularly, you can see on the left, you can also find Carrot and Swapper holiday themes on Twitter. We thought, what was the best way to kind of memorialize this? So we've been discussing a POAP. Everything here is obviously discussed. It's not formality. It's not guaranteed, but just kind of wanted to go over what the community's been discussing and what we might be able to expect coming into the new year. Let me share the images here. So the first one here, and I didn't mention it, but the lovely Boris Block, who is actually on the call, was responsible for these nice designs. So thank you again for those, Boris. Love them. This one here is the DXdao holiday theme. Presumably, the POAP would be on POAP.delivery, and would be eligible for anyone that has interacted with DXdao governance between December 1st and 31st or owned DXD on X date. X date, obviously, we haven't fully finalized these kind of conditions, but thinking Christmas Day to kind of kick us off. So if you have DXD on the holiday season, then you'll likely be eligible for this POAP, provided we decide to move forward as is. On the Swapper side, we have this sucker right here. Would also be claimable via POAP.delivery. If you don't know, a bit different than receiving a code via a DM or via an action. You'll have to visit the POAP delivery site, input your wallet, and see if you're eligible. for the kind of larger claims that have more than 100 kind of participants, it makes a lot more sense to go through that system. Eligibility for the swapper holiday POAP would be interacting with the swapper contracts in any way between December 1st and 31st, or owned swapper token on X date. Again, haven't fully solidified dates or anything yet, but presumably would be Christmas Day. So another interesting thing to look out for, particularly for swapper holders or users of the swapper DApp this holiday season. And the last one is Carrot, which is right here. And Carrot, obviously, as a brand new alpha product, doesn't have a token or anything with a larger backdate. So this one will be automatically distributed either through directly to wallet or through an open ping. And basically, we'll be distributing it to anyone that's interacted with Carrot since its alpha launch. That includes farming and receiving the Carrot tokens and or the redeeming and or bonding process on Carrot.eth. Presumably, it would be done shortly after the end of the month. So the total condition will be owning Carrots, trading Carrots, redeeming Carrots, etc. A smaller kind of turnout because of the alpha state of the launch and the only 2 pools that are kind of focused on. But another interesting thing to look forward to. So yeah, that's kind of the big ticket. Kind of wanting to memorialize these as a possibly even an annual event, having these pull-ups for our products. Could even focus on more seasons, etc. As soon as there's a solidified plan, you can pay attention to the announcement channel in this Discord here. You'll find one for each product in their respective announcement channel, provided we follow through with this. Cool. Open to any questions here, but that is the final topic on the agenda. As I mentioned, we'll probably be a bit shorter today with the holiday season and whatnot, missing a handful of contributors. It's fantastic to see such a great turnout, though, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Really excited about these NFTs. I believe I do qualify, so I'm kind of feeling giddy, waiting to see them in my wallet. But I don't know. There could be a surprise. I haven't farmed them specifically. I believe I kind of like fit in the description just by pure chance, being a DXdao degen. Something I just remembered was something I'd like to remind the community of, if they would like to show their support, is DXdao recently passed a successful vote in the XDAI chain community to receive funds in the form of stake tokens, so we could boost rewards in the swapper farms. It passed with a landslide, but then the merge happened, and the team at XDAI advised us that they wouldn't be able to provide us with the pledged funds due to the swap contract of stake tokens being converted into GNO tokens. And we were advised to head over to the newly formed Gnosis Chain forum to put a proposal to the community to request that we receive those pledged funds now in the form of GNO tokens. It's been live on the forum for 7 days now. There is no need for another on-chain vote. It was already passed. It's just a matter of acknowledging and honoring the vote of the community. If you do wish to comment or head over and share your opinion. The sooner DXdao gets those GNO tokens, the sooner you will see them provided to farmers in swapper liquidity mining campaigns as rewards on top of the swapper token distribution.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nathan. I am seeing a bit of Governance 2.0 discussion in the chat. I'm not sure, Ross, if you wanted to kind of step up and vocalize for the recording what you're kind of typing out here.
Sure, yeah, I was just typing out as I realized I can probably just jump in. Yeah, so if you're new, I think the thriller, I think we saw you on Twitter chatting just a bit little around like what you've read so far, which is always nice to see people sort of doing their own research and finding these things out. Yeah, governance, it's kind of recently become a larger focus. It's always been a focus. We've had it for on-chain governance for over 2 years now, but we now have our governance squad and we're pushing a lot more into building our products out there as well as our own DAO infrastructure. And so, yeah, we currently have the DXvolt app, and it stays still in beta. It's only used internally, but we're certainly building that out a lot more, and there's a lot more to come around that. We have guilds coming as well as governance 2.0. And while there's not great documentation out there right now for you maybe to jump in without an understanding of it, we are writing up some the documentation about that. And I'm sure if you want to know any more, we can explain a little more. But it's essentially currently we have reputational voting, which isn't DXD, and DXvote maybe. Sorry, and we so currently DXD holders can't vote, and we don't really want to ever have just liquid token governance voting because there's a bunch of issues with that. But we hope governance 2.0 fixes that for a bunch of reasons. Essentially, it melds together the current voting we have alongside liquid token voting. Yeah, quite exciting. I don't know if there's any questions or things that weren't clear there.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ross. Keeping an eye open for any final thoughts or questions here. Excuse me. Any final thoughts or questions here in the chats? If not, we can end it a little bit early today. Just have some casual discussion here on the agenda. So anything that we kind of want to chat about, anything we want to share, any questions.
Yeah, for those interested in governance 2.0, it has a lot of history and it's a lengthy topic for discussion. That there's a lot to consider, and if anyone is interested in learning more, it wouldn't be easy to sum it up and summarize in a concise way and share it in just a couple of minutes here on a call, but it does require some extensive reading to familiarize themselves with the protocols, the different types of governance in the space, and how DXdao is going to marry the two concepts, pulling the best of both worlds into a synergy that allows for fruitful collaboration. I've shared the DAO Talk post that Ross predominantly contributed to, outlining the steps for DXdao to fulfill that dream of being the most innovative and radical organization in DeFi, contributing to the whole space with a novel model for governance.
Excellent. Just keeping my eyes open. Have a few typing. Lots of happy holidays, but eyes open for any final questions. Otherwise, we'll end it here in just a couple of seconds. Particularly, the thriller's been typing for a moment. Maybe a question for Ross.
Yeah, one sec. I'll get the link for you. There's a document from I was going to say last year, it's still this year. Early this year, that was done from this is like our first piece of work on governance 2.0 that kind of outlines everything. And although some of it's subject to change, that's kind of the most well documented example that goes into a bit more detail. One sec, I'll link that. That's it in chat there, the IPFS link.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time, everyone that spoke today. Blake Burrito, Ross, Zet, and Nathan, of course. Much appreciated. We'll end the call now a little bit early. Just one quick question from What For, asking about the link for Gov 2.0. That's the state of DXGov. Maybe Ross, if you want to.
Yeah, so the Gov 2.0 spec doc, which is just above that message, is kind of like a more detailed dive into how exactly voting formulas and stuff work. And it's not, if you don't have the context, it's not the most readable thing. And the state of DXGov, which was the DAO talk article linked above, kind of is a bit more of a lighter introduction that goes over what we're doing and how that links in with Governance 2.0.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Happy holidays. We'll keep you up to date here on the potential holiday POAPs. We'll be in the announcement channels and or the chats. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and we'll see you next week. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. See you guys.
Holidays.
Take care.
Bye.